When you think about the internet, what pops into your head? Google, Wikipedia, maybe your favorite news site. Well, what if I told you that all of that, everything you know, is just the tiny tip of a gigantic hidden iceberg? Today, we're going to dive deep beneath the surface and explore the web's hidden layers. To really get a sense of just how massive this is, let's start with a single number: 90%. That's right. An estimated 90% of the entire internet is completely invisible to search engines like Google. Think about that for a second. Almost everything that's online exists in a place that a standard search will never, ever find.
Okay, so to understand that massive hidden part, we've got to start with what we all know and use every day. This is the tip of our digital iceberg. We call it the surface web.
Put simply, the surface web is pretty much anything you can find using a search engine. It's been indexed or, cataloged by companies like Google, which makes it the searchable, public-facing part of the internet we're all familiar with. The key trait here is that it's all publicly accessible. You don't need a special login or a password to get in. We're talking about news websites, public blogs, Wikipedia. Basically, if a search engine can take you there directly, you're on the surface web.
And this chart, wow, this really puts the scale into perspective, doesn't it? That tiny 10% slice represents the entire surface web we just talked about. The other 90%? Well, that's the hidden part we're about to explore.
So now we're diving below the surface, into that other 90%. This is the everyday private web, also known as the deep web. And look, despite its kind of spooky name, it is not the scary part of the internet. In fact, you use it all the time.
So here's the crucial point. The deep web is simply everything online that isn't indexed by search engines, usually because it's protected behind some kind of login or password. It's designed to be private, and for a very, very good reason.
And here's why it's so massive. Your email inbox, that's the deep web. Your online banking portal, your school's databases, your cloud drive with all your photos, even your private medical records, all of this is part of the deep web. It's literally built for your security.
Probably the simplest way to think about it is this. If you have ever logged into anything online, then congratulations, you've used the deep web. It's not some shadowy place. It's the huge, protected part of the internet that keeps our personal information safe.
Okay, so let's venture one layer deeper. Now we're getting into the most misunderstood part of the web. This is the anonymous dark web. And here, we really are entering the shadows.
Now, it's absolutely critical to get this right. The dark web is not the same thing as the deep web. It's a very, very small, intentionally hidden corner of the deep web. A good way to think of it is like a secret locked room inside a very large private building.
Accessing it is totally different. You need special software, most famously the Tor browser, which is built from the ground up to provide user anonymity by bouncing your connection through multiple layers of encryption. By its very design, it's not indexed, and it's incredibly difficult to trace.
And this is where all the controversy comes from. Because of that powerful anonymity, the dark web is just a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good and it can be used for ill. On one hand, it's an absolute lifeline for journalists in dangerous places, for whistleblowers exposing corruption, and for people living under repressive governments who just need to communicate safely. But on the other hand, that exact same anonymity provides a haven for a whole range of illegal activities.
So why are we going through all of this? Why do these distinctions even matter for you? Because in our digital world, knowledge really is your best shield.
So let's just do a quick recap of the three layers. You've got the public, index surface web that's for everyone. Then there's the private, secure deep web that you log into every day. And finally, there's the anonymous, unindexed dark web, which requires special software. See? Each one has a totally different purpose.
So here are the crucial points to remember. First, and this is the big one, not everything hidden online is bad or dangerous. Your private data should be hidden. Second, privacy is the whole point of the deep web, and that is a very good thing. And third, just knowing these differences protects you from all the fear and misinformation that gets spread around. So the next time you're online, just remember the layers. Remember the vast, hidden depths that are right there beneath the bright surface. And ask yourself, do you really know which part of the ocean you're swimming in?